New opera, I think, hits a different audience the way that traditional operas don't.
Lots of people are frightened of new opera.
There used to be the stereotype that new opera was,
I've had a lot of friends my age come to see contemporary operas, not really sure what to expect. And the experience that they get from it is so different than seeing a traditional piece.
These modern operas, I find, all have relatively accessible vocal lines.
New opera now is being written by composers who are really writing in a world, a sonic world that any audience member can comprehend, understand.
Plaything, it's about a hacker who has to hide out in some random embassy because she has leaked government secrets, and then she gets this surprise visitor at her window that at first seems like a possibility to reconnect with the world, but things turn out differently.
We all have experienced now for 2.5 years what it was like to be isolated and to have a sense, an inkling of what confinement can look like, and how when we're in those spaces or in those sort of situations, the importance of connection and belonging are amplified that much more. And I think the audiences will connect with Plaything because of having gone through that.
One thing that's really challenging is because this is music that has never been done. And so really trying to figure out, what is the best way to frame this music. It's particularly challenging, I think, for this opera, especially for the role of the parrot, because it has to make sort of non-singing sounds.
This piece was originally commissioned by the Center for Opera Studies in Italy, run by Daryl Edwards. And Daryl had asked me to kind of create a piece that we would work on, and something inspired by Ovid. I love these classical myths, but also they can be so incredibly misogynistic, right, and problematic. And so I really value the opportunity to take some of these myths and really blow them apart.
It's wonderful to have the creators alive and able to talk to and collaborate with in real time. So having that element of things being able to change, be flexible, and be constantly updating is really exciting.
There are not the traditions, there are not the kind of rules that we associate with certain scores. We get to really dig in and put our stamp on it. We get to interpret it in a way that it's never, literally because it's never been done before. And I think that's a really exciting opportunity for our students and for any artist that has the chance to engage in creation.
We are workshopping the first act of The Limit of the Sun, which is the new opera I'm writing with librettist Andrea Stolowitz. So The Limit of the Sun is an opera for 4 singers and string quartet, and it comes from true stories and research that Andrea and I have done into journalist kidnappings while on foreign assignment. And what we're
we're seeing in this first act is the efforts that the journalist's mother makes to raise a ransom and to get him released, and the connection that she builds with one of his captors. There are 2 women and 2 men, but there are no romances. And in fact, in this opera, the women are in a position to save the men or to punish them. And the men are young men who are really in need of each other and of the women on the other side of the world to try and save them. One of the things we value about this project is trying to explore these kinds of relationships that really are not very often seen in opera. People are exploring new directions and new forms within opera, and the young artists are learning about ways that they can take their careers that maybe they had no idea of when they were 16, 17, thinking about becoming an opera singer. Maybe they thought the only choice was to go into to sing La Traviata forever.
One of the comments I heard from a student was that it was the first time she was doing an opera where the whole creative team was women.
I mean, these are, remarkable composers doing really, really great work. So it's frankly an honor to be part of that.
I think it's really great that a place like McGill University is introducing new works and also Canadian works, early to students, which I think will make quite an impression. And I think is really important for the future of opera.
We're talking about il giudizione di blah blah blah.
And il gi...
You know.